Hello everyone, Sophia here from My Great Challenge. Welcome back to my channel and my kitchen. Today I'm gonna do something, I don't know if it's a little bit different, but something that I wanted to do only because I want to take it easy today. I am taking, well, yesterday I took a mental day off finally, hence the reason why I was able to post the stuff on Etsy, on my Etsy shop, but I really needed some time off. So I'm going to enjoy my weekend. And the best way to do that for me is do things that I enjoy and are not physically taxing. Cooking is one of them. Well, I don't know if it's really cooking because I'm using appliances. So today I'm going to put around my kitchen and I'm going to do 3 things using 3 small appliances. And if you know my channel, you know I love appliances. I love gadgets, kitchen gadgets. I'm a sucker for kitchen gadgets. I don't know if you like me, but I know that my mom is. I love kitchen gadgets and stuff that are supposedly making things easier or just cool to use. So I have them all. And over the years, I've accumulated quite a lot, and to be honest, I have room for them, but neither here nor there. So what am I doing today? Well, yesterday I went to Goodwill. And lo and behold, what do I find but a yogurt maker? Not only a yogurt maker, but a yogurt maker from probably the 80s, and it was still brand new. Didn't have the box, didn't have the manual, but it's brand new. So I'm pretty excited about that. It was $7.99 on a blue sticker. It was blue sticker day, 20% off. I ended up paying $5.11 for a practically brand new yogurt maker from Contempora, and I'm really excited about that. So I'm making yogurt, all right? I want to make yogurt for various reasons. We'll talk about that in a minute. Then I'm going to make apple chips in my dehydrator. I got a dehydrator off the Facebook Marketplace for $100, which was a little bit over half the original tag. The lady said she'd used it once to make beef jerky and didn't care for it, so she sold it to me. And I'm a sucker, again, for appliances. So I'm gonna make apple chips because we purchased a big box. We didn't have time to go to the orchard this year at all because Scott is freelancing. We got a big box, something like 150 Empire apples, which are the apples that we go get when we go apple picking. And I want to make apple chips with the dehydrator. And then I'm going to make bread in the bread machine. So this video is actually going to stretch over 2 days because some of the stuff, it's already 1:32 in the afternoon. I did some self-care this morning, and then I kind of like, you know, did nothing. Sat and stared for a while. So now I'm ready to do some stuff. The yogurt takes about 7 hours, then it has to go in the fridge. So we're not gonna try it until tomorrow morning. The apples take about 12 hours, so obviously they're gonna have to be dehydrating overnight. The bread takes about 4 hours altogether. So you'll see the bread probably before everything else. So it's gonna be like a video I'm gonna take here and there throughout the whole day and tomorrow. And the reason why I'm doing that is because today I'm finally going to sit down and respond to you guys' mail. Because I have time. See, if I do stuff like that, then I have time to do other things because I can fix it and forget it. So let's get started. I'm gonna show you the appliances first, and then I'm gonna start with the yogurt. Alright, come on now. How cool is this? This is so cool. This is, and it comes with the lid. So it was still wrapped in plastic in the original with the label I showed you. It comes with 6 jars. Just the jars themselves are worth the $5.11 I paid. And of course it comes with the lids for the jars. So what is a yogurt maker? Basically it's an incubator. Yeah, like incubating chicken. Okay. So what you do is that you prepare your yogurt, then you cool it down, you put it in the incubator, and for 7, 8, or 9 hours, depending on the type of milk you're using, it will basically grow the good bacteria that needs to be in there in terms of making yogurt. So why make your own yogurt instead of buying it at the store? So you've probably noticed in a couple of previous videos that I am trying to be healthy. Healthy doesn't necessarily mean slim. I'm trying to be healthy. Clean eating and clean living. It's a process. It's going to take me a very long time. And I know I don't have all the answers and I don't know all of it. I probably know 0.00001% of what's out there. But I'm making small steps in my attempt at being healthier. So what's the difference between the store-bought and the homemade yogurt? So first of all, the store-bought yogurt, even if you buy just plain yogurt, all right? We're not talking about the fake ones like the Danimals and all of this stuff. This is like the ones with the cookie on top. This is all garbage, okay? Don't eat that, okay? I'm talking about plain yogurt. Not all plain yogurt is going to be made with the right cows. I learned that today, and I'm going to share that with you today. Most of the yogurts you're going to find at the store is going to be made with Holstein cows, and those are high in fat and low in protein. They produce a lot of milk, but it's not necessarily the highest quality milk you can get. And I learned that to make your own yogurt, and you know if you have a good quality yogurt, is if you are using grass-fed cows, because they are less in fat and more in protein. So it's actually healthier for you to use this kind of yogurt, but they are expensive. I just went to the store the other day to buy a Faggi yogurt as a starter because you need one. I'll show you in a second. And I was looking at the grass-fed yogurt. They're like $2.50 a cup, okay? So I'm making 6 cups here. I'm largely recouping the money that I spent on this $5 yogurt machine. But you have to use grass-fed milk, whole milk preferably, but you can use 2% if you want, because it's better quality milk. It's higher density in terms of the protein, in terms of the calcium and all of those stuff. Why? Because the Holstein dairy farms, you know, like farmland milk and all of that, these are cows that are not necessarily grazing. They're cows that are grain-fed. They are under antibiotics. They're under a whole bunch of other stuff that you don't want in your system. So again, I'm making baby steps, all right? So you can make your own yogurt, and yogurt is super healthy for you, in particular as women who are entering menopause, because it gives us all the good gut bacteria, the probiotic, the acidophilus, and all of this good stuff that we need. If I buy the regular plain yogurt, not the right cows, not the highest quality milk, it may have fillers, they put some peptine in it, they put a whole bunch of other stuff, preservatives. You don't want that, okay? This is gonna be just basically yogurt, milk, that's it, nothing else in there. And then you use your own yogurt as a starter for the next batch. So as you go, you definitely 100% all natural and high quality milk. So that's one of the reasons why I want to make my own yogurt. First, I need the probiotics, and 2, because it's healthier for you. So then I'm going to use this baby right here. That is a Magic Mill Dehydrator, and I think it's super cool. It comes with a whole bunch of trays and some silicone trays, and you can make all sorts of stuff in that. You can dehydrate, of course, all sorts of vegetables and then pulse them in a powder, and you can make instant soups. You can do beef jerkies. You can dehydrate meats, vegetables, fruits. Actually, you can also make yogurt in there. You can use it as an incubator. Imagine that. You just have to remove all of the trays and put your yogurt containers directly here at the bottom. So if I ever wanted to do a large batch of yogurt, I could use this one and that one, and I would have yogurt for quite some time. And by the way, when you make your own yogurt, you can keep it in the fridge for 10 days before you make another batch. So I'll make the slices in that. And then I have the bread machine. And the bread machine I found for free. There was a lady on the Facebook marketplace who was giving away her bread machine for free. And she's only a block and a half away from me. She said first comes, first serve. And I think I told you the story before, but I was basically a cloud of dust on my way there. I don't think I ever drove that block and a half that fast, but I did get it first. She had a lot of people asking her, actually. So I'm going to make bread today. I did print out, because she didn't have the manual, I printed out the manual from the internet. And I'm gonna probably make, I don't know, like a whole wheat bread with, ooh, I have dried fig. Maybe I'll make bread with figs today. So I'm gonna have fun playing with my appliances. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's not for everybody, but you may learn a thing or two about those appliances, and you may be in the market for one of those later on, who knows. So as I mentioned before, in order to make yogurt, you really don't need much. You need grass-fed milk, whole milk preferably if you like a thick yogurt. And by the way, if you want to make a Greek yogurt, once your yogurt is done and it's been cooled down, you want to strain it in a cheesecloth and get all the whey out of it, and then you get a really, really thick yogurt. This is not going to produce a yogurt that is really thick. It's going to be more of a fluid type yogurt. So the one thing I do need, if I can find it in my mess, is my thermometer, because the temperature of the milk has to be a particular temperature. Let's put that to the side. Here's my thermometer. You need to boil your milk at 180 and then put it to the side and let it cool down to 110. And the incubator goes to 100, steady 100. So if you have an oven that goes all the way down to 100, you can also incubate your yogurt in the oven. You don't need the machine. I like the machine because of the cups, and plus it's really cool to have. So here's my grass-fed grass milk from Organic Valley, and you need 4.5 cups. And you know, if you have access to a farm in your area, why not just get unpasteurized milk, because this is pasteurized, and boil it at home. Now it's story time. When I was a little girl, this in the fridge. When I was a little girl in Normandy, we used to have a farm in the village, and every morning the cows would leave the stables, or the whatever you call it, the farm, and they would cross the village. There was only one cow with a bell, by the way, the lead cow. So they would leave the farm and cross the village. So at 6 o'clock in the morning you would hear the cows pass by, and they would go to the pastures that were outside of the village. And then every night around 4:30, 5 o'clock, the cows would come back from the pastures into the farm, and they would go into the barn. That's the name I was looking for, barn. And now everybody in the village, mostly us kids, would go to the farm and we would collect the milk for the day. So we all had a special container that was aluminum, I believe, and you know, like a milk carry pot thing. So all of us kids would, after school, would go home, probably have a snack, something Nutella related, and then we would grab the pot and then put our boots on, and we would go to the farm. And we had to put our boots on because after the cows passed, there was manure all over the main road, and of course when you go into the barn there was manure all over the place. So we all had specific boots to wear only when we were getting the milk. And then they were milking the cows. Man, that was a great smell. And they would have the same containers that we had. They had like huge ones that were laid on the table. There was about 6 or 7 of them. and the farmer would fill up a containers with a big ladle, right? And some of us had specific instructions, no cream or cream, okay? If you're in the farm, you know what I'm talking about. So you know I'm not kidding on that. So cream or no cream. At my house, it was always cream. So what they mean by that is that some people do not want the cream that settles on top or rose to the top of the milk. So what he would do is that he would use the ladle to get the milk that was underneath the cream, and you would get that milk. At my house, we always wanted the cream. So he would just scoop it out. And sometimes my grandmother only wanted the cream and not the milk, okay? For various recipes. And there's something very distinctive about the smell of fresh milk that came out of a cow. So when I was little, they had just introduced the machines. But all of us learned how to milk cows. And I remember at that particular farm when I was a kid, there was always one or two cows that did not take the machine. They still required to be milked by hand. So those are the ones that we kids learn how to milk cows. So those are side stories. I love milk, I do. And I miss my farm. So eventually what happened, because some of you have been here for a while and you know the house, you've seen the house in Normandy. What happened is that they built all those artificial lakes around the village because they found out that the soil had a lot of sand and they needed the sand for construction purposes. So the whole region ended up being one of the big hubs for that sand. But if they dig up the sand, then they have big holes. What do they do with the big holes, right? So they made artificial lakes that are so cold and dangerous nobody can swim in them. And they're very deep too. So there's no swimming in the lakes. But the lakes took over the pastures. And what happens when they took over the pastures? There was nowhere for the cows to go. So what happened to the farm? It went bankrupt. So there's no more farm in my village. Plus the farm lady died anyway over the years. But these are great memories. Anyway, we're going to check the temperature on this. It's got to be at 180 degrees. Usually it's when it starts foaming on the outside. Here we go, 180. Turn it off. And now this has to go and cool down. So the best way for me to cool it down, I'm either going to put it in a ice bucket, or I'm just going to cover it and bring it outside because it's 55 degrees out and I need it at 110. What I'm going to do is get 2 bowls. Are large enough. And I'm gonna go and get my starter yogurt. And all you need is 1 cup. And again, I'm using starter yogurt today, but the next time around, my glasses are filthy. The next time around, what I'm gonna do is use my yogurt as a starter. Kind of like when you have a starter for sourdough. You know, you may get the starter from somebody else, or you get it from your baker. And then eventually over time, as you continue to add to it, the starter is yours. I hear stories of people who have the starters their grandmother started. I'm yet to try sourdough, by the way. Okay, so this is all natural, low fat, Greek strain yogurt. And it's got live active yogurt culture. That's what we want. Okay, it's got the Bulgaricus, Thermophilus, Acidophilus, Bifidus, Casei. And nothing else. Grade A pasteurized skim milk. I just don't know if they are grass-fed cows or regular cows. So I'm going to put that to the side. Made with milk from non-GMO fed cows. Okay, that doesn't mean they're grass-fed. Okay, so I was outside for about 20 minutes and I'm at 115 or so. Yeah, just about 110. Perfecto. Okay, so what I need to do now is start tempering, and tempering is basically, let me put that on the cold surface here actually. tempering is starting to mix milk with the yogurt. And you don't want to mix a lot at first. Ladle instead. Okay, and you use the ladle that's not metal and a wooden spoon. Alright, and you start mixing this. And what you do is that you mix a little bit at a time, because you don't want the yogurt to get cooked or the milk to cook the yogurt. Now I'm going to put the rest of my milk in here. And the rest of my yogurt. And all I have to do now is pour my milk into the cups. So I did 3 plain, and now I'm going to do 3 with vanilla. Now before I put them in the incubator, what I want to do is clean out any spills. Now you don't put the lids on the cups. You do that once you put them in the fridge. Okay, make sure this is locked. And it goes on for 7 hours. Turn this. Let's do a little bit over 7 hours. And by the way, if you're using skim milk, it's 8 to 9 hours. Okay. Now, the one thing is that you cannot move this while it's incubating. It's got to stay exactly like this. If you move it just like a dough, if you move it, it will flatten out, and that's it for yogurt. You won't have yogurt. So this is done. It's going to be there for 7 hours, which is going to be 9:30 tonight. So when it's 9:30, what I will do is take them out, put the lids on, and throw it in the fridge. And then tomorrow morning, we'll check them out. So now, what am I going to do? Sliced apples in the dehydrator. I'm having fun today. Okay. So, as I mentioned earlier in the video, we ordered about 150 something apples. There's not a lot left, so it looks like I'm going to have to order another box. And it was actually less money to do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're going to do 12 apples. We'll see how many. Don't mind my dirty fridge. We'll see how many slices I can get out of them. These are the perfect apples for tarts and for chips. They are Empire apples. They are originally from the Empire State, New York. They are, I believe, a mix of Red Delicious and Macintosh. And they are Scott's absolute favorite apples, and they are mine too. I love them. Hence the reason why we planted an Empire apple tree in the yard, which produced nothing this year because too young. So maybe next year. So what I'm going to do is basically clean them very thoroughly. You don't have to core them. You keep the skin on it. And then I'm going to use my mandolin and slice them at 1/8 of an inch. And then I'm going to dump them back in the bucket with a little bit of water and some citric acid. You can either buy citric acid or you can get lemon juice. That's the same thing. That would prevent the browning. And then you basically just put them in the dehydrator and walk away. Well, you have to flip them once in a while, but that's about it. And to wash my apples, I'm just gonna add a little bit of vinegar, white vinegar. Alright, so let's see if I have the right thickness. Yep, 1/8, perfect. I think that's enough. I have 6 apples in here. So what I'm going to do is add water to this, and some of them you see are not all that great, and some of them are perfect, like this one is perfect. And add lemon juice before they start turning brown. At this point it's pretty easy. You basically put your apple slices with enough space around them so the air goes through and flows. So same thing, I'm going to do 3 normal and 3 with cinnamon. Trying to make the most out of my space here. So this is going to take a good 8 to 10 hours, by the way. So here's tray number 1, 2, 3, and the last 3 I'll add cinnamon. Temperature at 140. Well, let's do 145. Okay, and then the time is going to be 10 hours. So what's going to happen is that it's going to circulate the temperature at 140 degrees for 10 hours. In 1 hour, what I'm going to do is pull out all the trays, flip my slices so that they don't stick to the racks, and then I'm going to put them back in, and then 2 hours after that I'm going to flip them again. So I have to be around for 3 hours and then leave it alone. It already smells wonderful. I'm going to make bread, and by the way, I make bread every weekend in the house. It lasts just a weekend because everybody likes it. So I have 1.25 cups of warm water. You're supposed to put all of the liquid first. Let me get some olive oil. I'm making a wheat bread, by the way. I need 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Milk, I don't need a lot. Just 2 tablespoons, that's it. Now, fair warning, I don't have the best yeast right now, and lately my bread has been like flattening on the top, but still delicious. Doesn't have to be perfectly, you know, bakery beautiful. This is a mesquite honey, by the way. Alright, dump that in there. And so you notice that the honey just plopped into there, right? That's because I had oil in the spoon before that and it didn't stick to the spoon, so it just went right in. So now, dry ingredient, 3 cups of whole wheat flour. And this one I believe is, yep, it is. It's King Arthur's flour. And 3. Okay, spread it a little bit. Make like a little hole. I'm adding 1 pack. I'm adding 1 pack of vanilla sugar. This one is from France actually. My mom always sends me that stuff because it's flat. It fits in an envelope. Okay, vanilla sugar. And a half a teaspoon of salt. And to that I'm adding dry yeast. And that's it. See, I think a bread machine is a really good investment. Okay, just my opinion. Alright, so we're going to do a 2-pound loaf, and I want a dark crust, and I'm going to choose number 3 for whole wheat and start. And this machine is the old model. It doesn't have the little tray for the add-ins if you want to put nuts or, you know, dates or raisins or cranberries, or in my case I'm putting figs in it. There's a little mix-in button here. You see it's lit up, so at some point it's going to beep asking me to add them, so I need to chop them first. And what you hear in the background, by the way, is the aside from the clock is the dehydrator. And guess what? I only got 1 puny little fig left. But I do have California raisins. So we're going to do 1 fig and the rest is going to be raisins, and that's okay. So that's just a half a cup of dried fruit. I'm leaving it up here, and then eventually this is going to beep, at which point I just dump them in there. It didn't even start kneading yet. It's still heating it up. So now it's time for me to turn my apple slices. And over here, I have my yogurt. I have 4 hours left on it. This is slightly warm, 110 degrees. I had to put this little reminder here because I have curious kids and I'm sure they're gonna open it or whatever. I don't want them in particular to move it, and I talked about that as to why you don't want to move it. So put it in a corner and leave it alone. And this guy here has 4 hours and 17 minutes to go, and the mix-ins didn't cool out and actually didn't even start kneading yet. So I'll show you what it looks like when it starts kneading, and then I can go on with my day. So it took about 2 hours altogether, but everything is clean. I put everything away. And what did I get out of my 2 hours? I got 6 yogurt, I got apple slices, and I got a loaf of bread. That's not too bad. The machines are gonna do all the work for me. Then I'm gonna go upstairs and finally address all the mail that I gotta respond to, because I am so behind. And again, for those of you who send me mail, I apologize. You know how busy I am. I don't mean to be rude or ignore you. I just haven't had a chance. So I have about maybe 26 cards or, you know, packages to answer and thank people for. I'm gonna come back in 2 hours and turn those apples. You don't need to see that. So when I come back, it will probably be time to take the yogurt out of the yogurt maker, put the lids on, put it in the 4 hours. Yeah, it will be, so I'll put the lids on and then I'll put them in the fridge to cool down. And at that point, the bread will be done. So we'll look at the bread, but the apples will still be in the dehydrator. Apples takes a long time. Well, anything in the dehydrator really takes a long time. So it's a good idea to do that at night, and then you let it go overnight, and then the following morning your stuff is done. So I will see you in a bit. So far, I hope you enjoy it. When I come back, I'll be ready to take the yogurt out of the maker and put them in the fridge. So I'll see you in a bit. o'clock, and guess what? I gotta come up with dinner. So I'm gonna make a soup because I have 11 minutes on the bread, and I'm going to make a soup in the Instapot or pressure cooker, whatever you want to call it. Mine is not an Instapot, you'll see it. But the yogurt is done, so I'm gonna put the lids on it. There's a few hours left on the chips. I sneaked one and they were delicious. The bread looks good, but first I gotta put the yogurts in the fridge. So I'm gonna check on that, and then I'm gonna make a soup. I'm making a sausage, Italian sweet sausage soup with spinach, white beans, and butternut squash. And some of you are probably thinking, my goodness, all they do in this house is eat. And you're probably right. Okay, so there's a little bit of separation here on the top where the vanilla is. That's okay. That's the way. So here is one yogurt. I have to mark them somehow so that Scott knows which one's vanilla. Here we go. Alright, so this is my Kosori multi-cooker. It's basically an Instapot. And I'm gonna start with sauté brown. And I'm gonna put some olive oil in there. And I'm gonna start with fresh herbs from the garden. Scott buys the pre-chopped onion, and I don't have any problem with that. Salt. I'm going to start slicing my sausages. This is brown enough. I'm going to add spinach, enough for 4 people. Remember, spinach reduces in size. Then I'm adding some butternut squash. And of course, I'm out of white beans, so guess what? Black beans it is. Press the stop button, and I'm adding my water. How much water? Until you get to see it. And it's closed over there, and I just gotta hit soup. Start. There we go. Done. we go, here we go, here we go. It's Sunday morning. Let's check on these holes. I can see that they've been eaten already. So here are the chips. Can you hear that? Definitely got apple chips. Let's try them. So I got a whole bowl, it's pretty big, of apple chips. Again, some of them with cinnamon, some of them without it, and Scott and I are going to try them. And that's before we have the yogurt. So here's a regular one. Oh no, wait, this got a little bit cinnamon on it, and that's the regular one. Okay, here we go. That's pretty good, huh?
Yeah, it is.
Oh man.
Not bad.
You know what? I tell you what. Everything you like about Empire apples is concentrated now.
Actually, I would say
The tartness.
if you don't like Empire apples, this might be better for you.
Empire apples, I'm telling you, are the best. They're tart, but they're sweet. It's that kind of the right balance. But these, with the additional little bit of lemon juice on it, they're
Empire
perfect.
apples are a hybrid of Red Delicious
And Macintosh.
and Macintosh, yeah.
These are really good. Oh boy. So I'm going to put them in separate little Ziploc bags. And we're going to have snacks for however long that will last. Because I don't think they're going to last very long.
And if you don't like Empire apples, you can always just send them to her P.O. box. We'll dispose of them for you properly.
Send Corningware and Empire apples. Alright, a whole bowl of those. To me it's worthy. If I want a snack, it's much healthier to eat this than to have potato chips. They feel kind of... What? I don't like potato chips. I mean, I'll eat them, but they're too salty. What? Do you like potato chips? Comment down below, let me know. I would rather have this.
Yeah, I guess.
It's healthier for you. You ready for the yogurt?
Yeah.
Let's try your yogurt. So here's the yogurt, and again, I have one that's vanilla and one that's regular. So I'm gonna start with the regular one because you guys are intrigued about the consistency. So here we go. How about that? How about that? Yay. I'm not gonna have enough apple chips left if you keep eating them. We're gonna try the yogurt. Okay, so you're trying the vanilla first and I'm trying the plain one and then we switch. Perfect. Oh, I love the sourness of yogurt. How's the vanilla? Alright, I'm trying the vanilla. Oh wow. Do you like it?
I like the vanilla one better.
It's pretty good, huh?
This one tastes like regular milk though.
Well, it's plain yogurt.
Yeah.
This is so worthy. Do you think it's worthy to make your own yogurt?
How long did it take you to do it?
Well, I mean, it takes...
How long did it take you to do it?
The prep part?
Yeah.
Prep part is about maybe 15 minutes.
And you got 6 cups of yogurt out of... How long did it sit over
Yeah,
there?
but that you can do it overnight. So you're saying no?
Well, I mean, compared to going to a store, no. Flavor-wise, maybe it's better.
It's definitely better.
Yeah.
I tell you what, it's not just flavor that's better. It's better for your health. It's got all of the right bacteria in it. I love it. Guys, this was my... got busy in the kitchen with all my appliances. How was the soup?
Soup was good.
Soup was good. Bread?
Yeah, well, you know.
Alright, so out of the yogurt, the chips, the soup, and the bread, which one did you like best?
Yogurt chips. It's kind of between the bread and the chips.
Between the bread and the chips.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. Guess what? I'm going to stay in the kitchen today and I'm going to declutter the area that's in the back here. That's what I'm going to do today. So the next video will be a Dock Your House series number 14. And then I don't know what I'm going to do after that. So I will talk to you later. Thank you for watching and sticking around. I hope you enjoyed this. What's the matter? I hope you enjoy this and we'll try one of those machines. I just wanted to fool around with my appliances, which I love and use. So I will talk to you later. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye! Hey, it's me, and guess what? Click that thumbs up if you really like this video. Thumbs down twice if you didn't. You can also share my video if you really liked it, or save it to watch later. Also, you can subscribe to my channel, but don't forget to click that bell button so you are always notified when I post a new video. Thank you for watching.